Learning plans, curriculums, pathways, clusters, the ways in which we can organise learning content go on and on. But that doesn't mean they're all the same. In this new mini-series, I'll be taking a look at 6 popular and effective modalities used in L&D today, what makes them effective, how they can be used, and how they can all come together in different formats to create effective learning experiences. This first episode focuses on video, some of the science behind its effectiveness, when it's most useful, and finally some practical tips for getting the most out of it. Before diving into when you should use video and what makes a good one, it's important to have at least a passing awareness of some of the science in the space. Probably the 3 most relevant areas of thought here are dual coding, cognitive load, and obviously Mayer's multimedia learning principles. Firstly, let's consider dual coding theory, much more well known in the education space rather than the corporate learning space, but still worth paying some attention to. This theory basically posits that our brains process visual and verbal information in 2 separate but interconnected channels. Video, by combining visual imagery and spoken words or text, capitalises on this dual coding processing, potentially leading to better retention and understanding. This makes video an excellent tool for explaining complex concepts by simultaneously presenting visual examples and verbal explanations. We've spoken about things like visual anchors on this channel before, and this is very much what we're talking about here. Another key concept is cognitive load theory, and we've done a video on this before, so if you want to check that out, it'll be up in one of the corners now and you can just click the link. This theory deals with the amount of mental effort used in working memory. Videos can help manage cognitive load by effectively segmenting information and using visuals to simplify complex ideas. By doing so, videos can make learning more manageable and prevent information overload. Lastly, and arguably most importantly, are the multimedia learning principles developed by Richard Mayer. Now, there are a whole number of principles included in his work. In fact, we've got a video on that on the channel from IDTX a couple of years ago. You can check that out again, somewhere up here. But the piece here we really want to focus on is around the importance of combining words and pictures rather than just having pictures on their own. This is something video does very well. It inherently combines these elements, making it a powerful tool for enhancing learning, assuming that you still follow the other principles Mayer lays out. Now, video can be highly effective, but can also be time-consuming and expensive to create. Because of this, it's important to understand when video is and isn't the right modality to use. Now, there's not an exact list of when you should and shouldn't use it, but there are 5 situations in which I always like to consider it. First up, demonstrating procedures and techniques. Video is unparalleled when it comes to demonstrating practical skills. Whether it's a physical task or a software tutorial, video allows learners to see the exact process, replicating the in-person training experience that is often just not an efficient approach to take. Next up, storytelling and case studies. Now, we all know human brains are wired for stories. We love them, we can't get enough of them. Video enables you to present real-life scenarios or case studies as narratives, making complex concepts or abstract ideas more relatable and memorable for the learner. The next set is visualizing abstract concepts. Now, sometimes textual or verbal explanations fall short, especially with abstract or complex subjects. Video can bring these concepts to life through animations, diagrams, or even visual metaphors, making them easier for the learner to understand. Safety training is another area where video really shines. In safety training, showing correct procedures visually can be much more effective than just describing them. Video can demonstrate the nuances of safety practices and the decisions you have to make in these scenarios, helping reduce workplace accidents. Last up, and probably slightly more niche, language learning and cultural training. For language learning, videos provide visual context to the spoken word, making it easier to understand nuances. Similarly, in cultural training, video can showcase non-verbal cues and cultural practices far more effectively than you may be able to in writing or standalone imagery only. With all this in mind, it's time for those practical tips I promised you way back at the start of the video. But first, just a quick word from the sponsor of this mini-series, iSpring Solutions. iSpring is an e-learning software provider dedicated to streamlining e-learning worldwide. With a team of top industry specialists, they create tools that make e-learning both efficient and enjoyable. Their AI-powered course creation tool, iSpring Suite, and the iSpring Learn LMS are the top choices for thousands of instructional designers, L&D pros, and content developers. Crafted with the user workflow in mind, iSpring ensures a seamless experience for the creation of impactful learning content. Their website, ispringsolutions.com, offers a treasure trove of e-learning resources perfect for those seeking to boost their L&D career or elevate their organization's e-learning practices. You can check out the iSpring Solutions website using the link in the description below. When it comes to creating great videos for learning, there's tons of great advice out there, but there are a couple of things that I always like to keep in mind. First and foremost, don't get tied up in focusing on the highest possible production value. You're creating learning content, not the next Oscar-nominated blockbuster. This is one of those times when good enough really is fine. Next up, content clarity. The content should be concise and directly related to the learning objective. Avoid unnecessary details that can sidetrack the learner. It's all too easy on camera to waffle on, and put simply, none of us are as interesting as we think we are. So, stick to the script and keep it short. Quality audio is the most important production value. Good audio quality is crucial. Poor audio can distract and even hinder the learning process, regardless of video quality. So put your efforts into audio first, get a clean recording in a quiet place, and ensure the person recording speaks clearly. Audio is also the first area of financial investment to consider if you have budget to spend. Now, let's talk visuals. Video opens up a world of possibilities with B-roll, animations, and effects. But we know the best thing you can do is to only use visuals that complement and reinforce the learning and avoid overly complex or irrelevant imagery. Pacing and segmentation are, as in all learning content, key. Break down the information into manageable segments. This helps to maintain learner attention and facilitate better comprehension. Chunking is nothing new. But in video, you're always fighting against passive consumption, so it's an important consideration. Finally, don't brush aside accessibility. Ensuring your videos are accessible to all learners is not as simple as some closed captions and a transcript, though you will need both of those. Next, you're going to need to ensure the player you're using is accessible in terms of keyboard controls, alt text, and use of colour contrast. You also need to think about your video's visuals. Are you using colour to portray information that might be lost to colourblind viewers? Are there any sudden flashes in your video which could affect viewers with epilepsy or other visual processing challenges? Not all of these are in the WCAG standards, but that doesn't make them any less important. Video is one of the most widely used modalities for communication on the planet. It has become a cornerstone of mixed modality learning and can be highly effective. However, video is often misused and too much emphasis placed on production value and not enough on the quality of the content being recorded or the visuals being used. Whether you're creating a standalone video or creating videos as part of a larger multimodality learning plan, challenge yourself not to get lost in the world of video for entertainment and instead to focus on creating high-impact, effective learning content. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Please do get involved down in the comments and let me know what advice you would give to someone starting to use video today, and if you're enjoying the content, please do consider becoming a channel member, it really helps me out.